Hey, what's up, guys? So this is the Rovari Circuit Studio for CircuitPython, and I actually want to demonstrate the debugger because based on the feedback I've been getting from you guys, the debugger was something that nearly everyone talked about, and there's an online with a debugger, so I thought I'd implement a debugger, so we'll have the debugger offline that's easy to use for beginners and with the simple CircuitPython workflow. So to get any debugger, so we'll actually have it. So we have our REPL, we have the plotter, and we have our debugger window here. And from this debugger window, what we could actually do is we could select, what files you want to debug. So I'll create a new file. So let's create a file. We'll call this file, let's call this file, demo one or something like that. Right. So this is the demo one file that we have here. And if you click refresh, we see it in the list and we can actually select it. We have to select library files and stuff as well. So we're not doing that now. So what you'll do is I'll delete this file, click delete, right? And we'll refresh and it's gone, right? Code.py is always one. So what I want to do is I'll actually set some expression, some much expression. So I'll select counter. I could use message and we'll use led.value. So we'll say counter is 1. Another line, we'll say led.value. And on the third line, we'll say message. Right? So that's enough. So we'll actually start debugger. Let's start debugging. And you see it's halted here at the first line. When it is we start, you see these undefined because it hasn't been hit any code yet. So we'll single step. Um, so let's single step and watch this through. So we hit LED, we see it's false, right? Because LED that discharge in out. So we said that. Um, we'll step. So we hit counter, right? Counter is 0, which is what we set here. And then we enter the loop where we iterate on counter. So and you see the message is starting. So that's our string there. So we step, and as we step, you see the value of counter in our expression window increase, right? So, we have this, we actually have this step in here, right? So I'll stop this. Um, and what I'll do is we could actually set breakpoints. So, um, I'll set some breakpoints. So we'll set one, at when counter is 0. We'll set one probably at the start of the loop, and we'll set one at the end of the loop. So before the loop, in the loop, and then I stop the loop, and then after the loop has ended. So I'll save this, make sure I'm safe, right? We'll start the debugger, right? And again, it's at the top. So we'll run, and you see it actually runs to the values that we actually set the breakpoints as. And take like us has to go through the 5 iterations, and then it will stop. So when you set a breakpoint, you'll actually see these stuff appear in this hashtag with this little circle, and it indicates a debug point to the ID, and then the markers are for us. And if you close and open back, these are actually persistent. So to remember the state, the ID remembers the state of these debug points you set in your files. Um so we could probably look at what I wanna so if we look at the this table here, I just want to quickly mention or watch expressions is that while we halted at a breakpoint, right? The watch expressions actually evaluating at every the board every step. If the variable is not in scope yet, then we'll see an error instead of a crash. So we have our counter and message and stuff, right? So I'll stop the debugger, and what I'll do is we'll look at some so I'll save this. And I actually want to show you the conditional breakpoints. So make sure this saved. Control S. Um, and I will do, let's say counter is more than 3. All right. So once it's more than 3, we want to stop. So we make sure it's safe. We start the debugger. Um, it started. It's on the first line here. We'll run, right? And you see once counter hits 4, which is more than 3, it actually stopped, right? And so we get our our conditional breakpoint. So once the expression becomes true anywhere in your code, it'll hold. And counter is 4, which is we set more than 3, and that's where it is. So I'll stop again, and we'll actually um we'll start the debugger, right? So I'll remove this expression here. Um, we start the debugger, and I'll go step by step, right? So it's at the top, and I'll single step, so that what I want to demonstrate is our continuum log, history rewind. So we could actually let it run. So we let it continue. We could continue with log or without log. We continue with log, and that's how the program runs. So we see it auto step in here, and it's actually saving. And then what we'll do is um we could actually we could rewind a step. So it's all these steps we could rewind. You could forward to the latest. Or you could rewind to the start of the issue, which would be where the program start. And then we could do like that. So it's like continue with log will actually record every single step. And as it runs, it could kind of rewind and replay the entire logic execution. And it will kind of help you to see how it's running. So it's like a more of a flight recorder for your code, right? So that's just of the debugger. It has the stuff you really want to do in debugging. You don't really need any debug probe. It will work on any CircuitPython board. Of course, the Pico is what I use to test with here. And we also will be looking at verse 5, of course, as the first class editions, CircuitPython boards first class editions. Um, so that's it, guys. Remember to check out rvembedded.com for more, and make sure and subscribe for this channel so you'll see any updates. So I'm really hoping to launch this editor at closer to the end of next month, because I have some cleanup to do. I want to make sure everything is good. Run unit tests. I want to make sure that even though it will be like an alpha release, that it's at least in a workable state. A lot of people could use comfortably, because I've been working with it, but juggling so much stuff that I really haven't got the time to really dedicate fully testing. So I want to make sure that when I do release it, it's fully good. So yeah, we are at the debugger. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. And any feedback you'd like, just let me know. Thanks, guys.